In my work, the joy that I get from it is that so I'm a scientist, and so one of the things that I get to do is, discover and understand new processes in nature. One of the things that I really enjoy in this process of understanding, it's really two parts. One is being able to discover new ways that the world works, and the second is developing that understanding by building a theory and then communicating with it. And I enjoy both of these parts of the process of first discovering, it's kind of like a light bulb moment, and then the second is building the theory and trying to make something that was complicated simple to be able to communicate that theory. Yeah, so I think God has shaped me for this work is by giving me a couple skills. So the first one I would say is curiosity. And then that's coupled with perseverance and discipline. Curiosity, being able to delve into questions that have never been answered before. And then because they haven't been answered before, you have to have a lot of discipline and perseverance, because oftentimes you're not necessarily going to get the answer right away. And so it's a lot of failure, trial by error. And so I think these personality traits that I have are really kind of the spiritual gifts that God has given me. And then second, some of the experiences that God has put along my life. I have some very extroverted relatives, siblings that have given me more communication ability that I think I have naturally. And so the experiences I've had in my life have given me the capability of communicating well as well. Yeah, so the main narrative for success in my workplace, which is probably similar for a lot of fields, is a very individualistic definition of success. So what are the personal metrics that are advancing you? So in my field of academic research, the kind of main metrics are how many personal citations do you have on your research articles that you've published, and how much grant money have you brought in to the university. And so these are very, I would say, like a zero-sum game kind of, where they foster competition and competitiveness between researchers. And so I think this compares to like what God's metrics of success are, which a lot of people have individually for themselves, but aren't necessarily for the field in general, of collaborative work, mentorship, education. So although it's academic research, it's normally not prioritize the education part of it. And so I think, God's metric of success would be, how well are you educating the students that you have underneath you? How well are you mentoring them? How are you, treating the people around you? Are you collaborating? Are you building relationships and treating other humans with dignity? So I think a lot of people have those as individual metrics of success, and that's kind of the way that I would act as a Christian in my field. Yeah, so I've seen God in my workplace. This kind of ties back to one of my other responses as well, where when you are kind of in this process of discovery, I think that I see God in the way that He created the world. So when I make a discovery, or when we make a discovery as a team, you get to see something clear for the first time. And so I think that's really kind of like the shroud of sin disappearing and being able to see how God created the world. And for me, it's a way of building up my sense of being an image bearer of God, where you can say like, yes, I am now understanding more about who God is, and I can live more into that truth as well. I think Bible Center can pray for me in my work based off of how I can kind of counteract some of the main metrics of success that the field promotes, and being able to recognize and understand who are other individuals who are trying to make my field more like heaven, and work with them to try to one, just create a network of individuals, and two, work together to try to collaborate on technology, but also collaborate on changing the system such that we can make it more of a human science as opposed to just science.